This is our mixer. Please be careful with it. It's one of the most expensive things we have. The power supply cord is one of these. We have a few of these for backup, so if you're ever missing it, we have other ones in our tub A2. That's all our extra cords and wires that we need. It's in there. We have a few extra ones in there if we're ever missing anything. Plug it into the back right here with the power switch back here as well. Please plug this into a surge protector. Just so that way you can, and if anything happens, because we plug a lot of stuff back here, if anything happens to the sockets, we can protect the building, but also protects our equipment as well.
Electronics don't need a light on fire.
Huh?
Electronics don't need a light on fire.
Yes. Plug it into surge protector. Cut on the power switch in the back. You see everything light up. And it's all ready to go. Next will be the speaker cords. We have long ones on these rolls. These connect to the speakers that we set up earlier. Just look at the ends. See this one right here. This plugs into the speaker, and this one plugs into the mixer. Where these plug into on the mixer will be right here on main outputs, left and right. You can connect them to the right speaker and the left speaker according to the room over here. But it shouldn't really matter because sound will go in either way. And then you connect it to the speaker. Usually we do it the other way. We connect the part where you have to unrun into the speaker, so we just go reverse. So maybe that's what I should do, so that way people know the easy way to do it.
Make sure you get more. Put more. Upside down. Yeah, then it's just simply a matter of just unwinding in how again. You do want to run it behind and around things. And then now it can be plugged in. Of course I try and plug in upside down.
Receiver. This box consists, and hopefully we'll update these. We'll update the video when we update these. But it consists of the receiver, power cord, and
microphones.
6 microphones.
Miniature clocks.
Here. Actually, hold on.
Yeah, it needs to
Here.
be on the other side. That way the USB.
So right here. Antennas go up. Power cord with the red little strip thing connects to the back. Right in the middle. And once you plug it in, it'll light up green. Power's ready to go. Microphones are wireless. They use batteries. So if you ever need to change the batteries, twist this part. Batteries are right here. And to get them connected, they're already automatically connected to the receiver when you turn them on.
Show the power switch.
Power switch is down here. Little brown, gray rubber button. The connectors for the mixer to the radio to the microphone receiver is going to be in A2 again. And it is these bundled wires here. Yellow, red, gray, and blue bundled with black rubber. We have individual ones, but that would take a lot more time. this just makes it easier.
Here's a side note on the microphone though. When you turn the microphone on, it shows right here which channel it is. And this will turn red if the battery is getting low.
That is very important because it's probably around time we need to switch the batteries too. So we have the channels in the back, 1 through 8. 1 and 2 is for wireless microphones that do not work anymore. So you won't need to plug anything to those. So it's best to plug in reverse to 8 all the way to 3. And I just go the American way, red, white, blue, and then yellow.
No, you're going 8 to 8. Oh, you're counting down from 8 to 3. Got it. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm still asleep.
Plug those in. And then match the colors with the numbers that you're putting in over here. So that way it's easy to adjust. You're adjusting 8 with number 8 on the mixer. So we're going red, white, aka gray, blue, and yellow. And then you only need 2 more cords for this one, but we use these anyways. And then I go white, no blue. Ooh, sorry, 3D. These wires in the back. And red. And white. And to test any of them, it'll be channel 3 like James showed earlier. Channel 3. And when you talk through it, you'll see that it's picking up on the mixer. And that means sound is traveling through properly. And the next part will be...
Okay. When we first turn on the mixer and everything, we want to go ahead and have everything turned all the way down. And then as people come in and they start testing the microphones for their singing, we'll go ahead and adjust the volume to in the middle of the range it says it needs to be. And then we will turn up the microphone for what they're talking on to where it hits the arrows in the yellow. That is the optimal sound setting for the microphone and speakers. Depending on who is using the microphone, for the number you want to adjust, like this one is 3. If it's a male, we probably want to lower the high dB and raise the low dB so that it picks up and transmits their bass voice better. If we hook up Bluetooth audio to the mixer, it will be the blue dial to be turned up and down. The orange one we do not need because we don't use the effects as much. In fact, I don't think we've ever used any of the effects. And then each one of these, you would adjust the volume up depending on who's talking, except for 1 and 2, to where it picks up in the yellow range for the optimal sound. And then that is the basic mixer setup for when we first get started in the day.
The setup, guitar and other instruments for the worship team, we are using this, the Rugst. It is located in A1, which is this shorter red tub. It has a power cord inside the box, which we will plug into the power strip, aka surge protector. Then we'll also be using one of these. We have a few of these around. We have one in A2, the cord with all the extra wires. And we also have them just sometimes sitting in one in each tub for any other instruments we need. And you'll be using this, and you will be using a speaker cord. And here at Guthrie, since we set up in the back, we'll be using the 100-foot speaker cord that we sometimes use for the speakers. Since the speakers are also in the back here, we can use shorter cords for the speakers, which you can find in any of the tubs. We usually try to keep one in each. And this is going to connect all the way to the front since it can reach that far. To set this up, we will need this cord to connect into the headphone jack on here. You plug that in, and you put it just about anywhere. You can put it on top of the radio receiver. Any space you have is relatively small, so it can fit. The power supply is a USB-C plug to USB, and the plug-in for that is on the back. You just plug it into the power right here, and you plug this into USB port, whether it's on the laptop, on a power strip, or on a block. You can use any as long as it basically charges. You'll see a little green light right here that shows it's connected to USB. And
You want to avoid plugging into the laptop because it'll have an extra microphone.
avoid plugging into laptops, as it will try to set it up as another setting on the Charge laptop or the Slide laptop, and that will make navigating those settings a little harder. So plug into the USB port or charging block if you have it, so you can plug it directly into the wall, whichever one's closer and easier to use. And then the next cord we'll use for this will be actually another cord. You will need a shorter cord like we use for the AV mixer, which we have in A2. They have it right here. And is these multicolored ones we have here. Depending on how much you need, you can connect them together or just use one if you're close enough to the mixer. And we'll grab two just in case. Gray and purple, my favorite combo. This will plug into, connect them together. Plug this end.
No, actually. This is going to plug into the mixer.
Oh yeah, this is rewind. I didn't say that.
You're good.
This end plugs into the mixer. I was thinking the other wireless microphone.
We try to keep it in plug-in one. That way, one is always for the speaker.
Plugs in like that. And then this cord right here will be plugged into
When's your surgery?
right here. I'm not sure yet, we're recording something. That's why we're making this video, is I might be having surgery. So plug into line one. It even has a microphone and a guitar symbol on it. Plug it in. And and then we're gonna feed it all the way to the front so Jaleel can jam out on his guitar. And
Is this how you hooked it up last week?
yeah.
So what did you hook the guitar and to that wire?
You plug it just like you would any other speaker wires. Plug these two ends together until it clicks. We want that to be nice and tight because the guitar does move around. And this end will plug into the guitar, and I'll show you that in a second once we get up there. So once again, plug like this with the three prongs fitting right in till it clicks. The click's not very loud, but it clicks in. And when you do use this longer cord for him to reach, do try to keep the bundle of excess cord in a corner or in a side where it's not gonna drag around too much. So try to make sure it's at least a little clean, rolled up nicely, so that way when he's moving around with the guitar, he's not making any tripping hazards. And it is best for the instruments and the artists that you ask them to plug in the guitar itself. So that way he can, if he does need to move it and unplug it for anything, he's not worried about picking up and pulling the cord. So just put it somewhere near the instrument. I like to hang it on his new stand, and that way he can plug it in himself. So just in case you're not familiar with any instruments, you do not damage them or anything like that. So it's best to ask the musician to plug it in himself.
Okay, so
A little bit of a retcon from what it says earlier.
Yeah. So I made a mistake. We're going to plug this into two for instruments. One is for a wireless speaker mic for the speaker, so that way it's wired in front. And it'll always be, one will always be for the speaker, and two will always be for instruments. So last thing is how to set up the audio and the settings when they're doing their mic test. When the singers come out here, they'll be doing a microphone test, so it'll be harder to hear them. So we're gonna do this now. How we have it set up is that the microphones are labeled, of course, through here, 1 through 8. 1 is the, okay, which one is? 1 is for the speaker microphone, and it should always be for the speaker microphone. On number 1 is clip 1 that the speaker uses. 2 is for this, the red box back here. That's for the instruments, so usually Jalil's guitar. And then 3 and up is microphones, 3 through 8. And depending on how many singers you have, depends on how many you use. The microphones, when we set them up here, will be labeled lowest number on the far side and coming up to 8 on this side.
No, the talking with Steve.
So when you're doing the audio and you're adjusting settings, when they are singers are practicing, you do not want this or the recording audio to get into the red. So usually we start off with the audio right below this box right here. This is the optimal range you want it to be. We start at the bottom so we can always turn them up. And you will listen to them. If someone's giving feedback or one person seems too loud, you just adjust them down. And you usually go in order, either starting with 8, which is usually Steve Hawley's mic, going down. Now we will have a microphone that is for the podium. That's also for like the people who are doing the communion and doing the like the welcome and stuff like that. That are not having the speaker microphone. And that's the one you're gonna have to adjust the most, because usually that's for whoever's leading the songs, and you'll adjust it to their volume, usually Jalil or Steve, and you'll adjust it to them. And then you will turn it down or up depending on who's speaking. And that's usually most of the time gonna be 7 or 5 or 6. Now microphone 5 is our least functional microphone. We only use it if we have more singers. And so make sure that 5 is not used by the speakers. It doesn't pick up very well, and it collects a lot of feedback because of the signal it uses. So if you can choose not to use a microphone, let it be 5. But if you have to, just make sure that one's not for the speaker. And so just always remember that whenever a speaker is going up, you turn on all the other microphones, because it will pick them up through the other microphones, and you'll hear kind of an echo / feedback. And you adjust all the settings back to what you started with for the singers. Sometimes singers will make a specific request for certain songs, and you just adjust to it accordingly. That means you do have to pay attention during service. And that's about it. Bluetooth right here. Just in case they're playing Bluetooth audio through the mixer, change it like that. But yeah, everything up here should relatively be the same. It's mostly the gain, how much it picks up. We have them set to a certain amount, so that way it's not picking up other singers as often. And the mic stands will be adjusted by the singers, but the microphones need to stay in order. And you do need to make sure of that, because sometimes they change on you. And that's it. Just once you hear it, it's all by ear, what you can hear and what the singers suggest, and you're all good to go.